Yo, what's good, Wagwan? What's poppin'? Bless up everyone out there, man. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in straight away. You got the notification. Shout out to everyone who's hit that notification bell, full stop. Big up yourselves, man. Let's get into this. Yeah. It's Friday. Nah, I'm playing this Wednesday. I wish it was Friday, don't you? All right, let me start playing games. Let's go.
Snub there, that will knock you niggas off your feet. So watch your beat, we in the street, 100 deep, money speaks. On a crime wave, car crime pays. 2 up in Cunch for like 5 days, breezing down the motorway. Whole team with our shits looking like a motorcade. Everybody presidential, looking on a boss wave. Nigga tearing up and still calling it an off day. Off day, talking all that smoke, he ain't even spot a matchstick. Any ends, patch flip, feds chase, don't stick. From young and hit the road and starve. Me, K, licking cars, wifey falling out of bra. Whole gang fit her ass. Cut the talk when they come in. Got the top down, young boy gunning. Sophie went and spent 5 racks on her chest. They could rip the points themselves, I'm working with the best.
Back that, flip that, reload, drop that. Run up in the shops with the cash.
Spent 5 racks on her chest.
YG, OG, hot cat, busy staircases, life on the block. I was in the blue when they never called it blue. Greenborough 2, whole family on movements. I was in the NAM back before they were flagging. Now it's all changed, had to make some improvements. I was going bricky 2002. Town full of angels, poverty driven boosting. Chilling with the shotters them, Tottenham to Homerton. Stratford to Cannon Town, I was with a lot of them. Street code, beef code, road was kinda hotter then. I've been in the field, Enfield, ain't forgotten them. Late night, players club, with the top of them. Yardies and Nigis, double up the dollars them. Name brands, big whips, been through the lot of them. West End popping off tags with the rubber men. Big buds, high grade, loud packs, fuck a blem. 36 zip blocks, bagging up and chopping them. Bag that, flip that, reload, drop that. Run up in the shops with the cash flow. Pop that, big dogs, YG, OG, hot cat, busy staircases, life on the blocks. Bag that, flip that, reload, drop that. Run up in the shops with the cash flow. Pop that, big dogs, YG, OG, hot cat, busy staircases, life on the blocks. Yeah, don't get it twisted. You know where it is.
I say this with boldness. Speak now or forever hold your peace. We in the last stage, yeah, revelation.
Play it again.
Either bend over backwards or refuse the mark of the beast. The first will be last, the last will be first. Dumb and dumber, take notes. Wanna prosper in life? Well, we need to come together, stand up for our rights and be united. Soldier tiger, building bridges is the way forward. In this Mockingjay Hunger Games, young blood, get your faculties right. Betrayal, hatred and failure is for the weak-minded that follow the herd. Not me, I'm the black sheep. I don't lick ass for cash money. I'm a train setter, no longer puffing on that Mary Jane, but drinking plenty Corona like Jaquan. Now everybody in this bitch get tipsy. Conspiracy theories, or is it reality? Many people woke but still getting gagged. This is the joke, we living in vanity. Crisis taxes, plenty liars co-starring like Jim Carrey. But I'm a realist, fuck your Elon Musk. I refuse to be jabbed, I'm screaming freedom!
Yeah.
I'm screaming
Freedom!
Yeah. Came up out the dirt, covered in the mud, but they showed me love. The people who I stay around, what was I to do? Struggled in my youth, now I'm big and grown. I've got a different edge about me, trying to eat a food, aiming at the moon. Money comes and goes, yeah I know, tell me about it. Story of my life, trying to keep it real, and you know the deal. I'm talking to everybody, yeah.
Judo, flip the script, put it in reverse. If you're calling dibs, bro, better be rehearsed. If you're bringing knowledge, though, better be researched. Talking too much grease might end up in a hearse. Bitches take notes, might end up in a purse. When they lose hope, might end up in the church. Bodies in boxes, go and end up in the dirt. Jenny smokes rock, might end up on the curb. I can feel the pain, everybody hurts. If I did you wrong, well, I don't really care. Made a little change, and and I'm still at work, but the pain never goes away.
Came up
Really
at the
burns.
dirt, covered in the mud, but they showed me love. The people who I stay around, what was I to do? Struggled in my youth, now I'm big and grown. I got a different edge about me, trying to eat a food, aiming at the moon. Money comes and goes, yeah I know. Tell me about it, story of my life, trying to keep it real. And you know the deal, I'm talking to everybody.
This government agenda fucked, got my ammonia. The word didn't work for me, just trying to make it to the next day. All I want is more pay, throw it in a pot, watch it come back, they run back, yeah. Fuck about a view, I did it for the culture. So many models, I swear to you all vultures. Coming where I'm coming from, it was all fucked, trust me, it was all nuts. Man, I got the real things. You know them top cats sitting there chasing the dragon while their kids watch. These mothers are disgusting. I be seeing them all over the hood, giving brain for some bones. Where I'm from, slugs fly on the daily, and every other day a scat has another baby. I'll be on that block, screaming that pay me. Pockets all bulging, looking all hazy. Coming where I'm coming from, body got stepped on, dudes got dropped, and mums they lost sons. It's a shame I suppose, but it's the way it goes. Fam, I guess it's just the way of the roads.
Keep your head up in these streets, yeah. Is there heaven for a G? Gotta keep your head up in these streets. If I die, I hope that there's a heaven for a G. I feel the pain when I lay my head and go to sleep, remembering some people we ain't never gonna see again. How can I just stand by, watching my world exploding like a landmine? And if I ever did you dirty, then I'm sorry too. But to be real with you, back then I wouldn't have cared about it. Just make the money keep coming like a landslide. No peripherals, my vision seeing blindsided. I was tripping, I was going out my damn mind. I still remember when they used to give me airtime. Oh, you should open up your ears now. If you weren't hearing me before, you're about to hear it now. Don't get caught in too much dirt, cause it will follow you. Just like they followed you on Instagram, it's weird now. I seen too many people go, it's in my head now. And life to me is worth more than just getting bread now. I can't go to sleep, I try and lay my head down, but I still hear your voices speaking in the background. Oh, there's something in the air now. I think I need to put something in the air now. I made promises I know I didn't follow through. If I ever did you dirty, then I'm sorry too. Whoa, put something in the air now. I think I need to put something in the air now. I made promises I know I didn't follow through. I'm just trying to think of ways I couldn't acknowledge you. Oh, Lord. It's crystal clear now. I don't wait for situations, I'm prepared now. We've been going through some shit that I won't go into. Lost my mama, F the world like I don't care about it. Had to find a way to try and get my head around it. Get it right, despite all those who ever doubted. Different people got different things we're going through. Babies crying, Negroes dying, you might hear about it. Get that money, get the currency, the bread and stack it. If you never heard the story, you might read about it. They can see me but can't see them things I'm going through. Bad decisions get you missing, leave you dead around, forget about it. Put something in the air now. I think I need to put something in the air now. I made promises I know I didn't follow through. If I ever did you dirty, then I'm sorry too. Whoa, put something in the air now. I think I need to put something in the air now. I made promises I know I didn't follow through. I'm just trying to think of ways I couldn't acknowledge you. Oh, Lord.
Noisy house.
Yeah, shout out to everyone.
Yeah.
I know you when you lot are ready, you're gonna join. I was running some tunes for a minute. Big up yourselves. I hope you enjoy.
Listen. Cause I was living in the fast lane, speeding in the sports range, but then it all changed. I'm not the same P that the streets knew, but I'm the same child that my mummy grew. I done dumb dirt, she ain't even have a clue. Feds up my ass, I just call them bugaboos. Money's low and I ain't even moving through. My nigga call at 8 AM and I miss him too. This is a life crisis, so I'ma rise my stick. Niggas fake, so they ride his dick. But I'm straight, not gay, so I handle my shit. Don't hate, just rate that I do my thing. Lost a friend to the system, one to the graveyard. Yeah, life's hard. I'm on bubbles with certain friends, I don't see them. But my heart's cold, I see them when I see them. Yeah,
The photograph on your shelf, same picture in your album. Nowadays I just get around some more than I used to. All the things that we go through, need a family to hold you down, down, down. Yeah. Sad stories don't amaze me, so I pray the ghetto don't change me. No more than it has, my life's crazy. Seen it all and got lazy. Lost a couple niggas on the way. We paid them our respects and tried to keep it wavy. Never swerve. Try and bring it to the south, bring it to the army. Never chose to be so grimy. But nowadays they bang bangers in the hoods. This ain't the 80s. Butterfly knife, nigga, keep it in the Joe 90s. Got my hammer in the whip and a dope lighty. And I'm handling my flip like a lion out the cage. Get the money in the streets, get the money on the stage. Forever chasing papers, so home I just never stayed. No shitting on my door, I'm keeping it far away. No Rolex, but I'm sneaking the Cartier. Gotta shine for my peeps who didn't make it up on the way. Photograph on the shelf, same picture in your album. Nowadays I just get around some more than I used to. All the things that we go through, need a family to hold you down, down, down.
Listen, that's how it is and that's how the game goes. Money's low, ain't got time for lames and hoes. Used to run with a team, now I'm going solo. Me, my machine tucked underneath my polo. 15, I was letting it rain in Soho. Casper Jack hoodies, ice history woolies. So I'm used to go, that's why when I ain't got none, I stress a lot. Hella lot. I don't smile no more cause there's nothing to grin about. If I see grim about, I'ma slap him in his mouth. Niggas think they can do things and get away with it. They got a different angle, it's kinda strange. They lock me, and niggas gonna hold a clip. When that prick got touched, he was screaming like a bitch. Niggas shit and sniff for chicks, no, I don't rate that shit. All about my paper, bitch.
I'm the photograph on your shelf, same picture in your album. Nowadays I just get around some more than I used to. All the things that we go through, need a family to hold you down, down, down. Yeah.
Yeah, big up Mr. Pilu. Big up Shug. Shout out to everyone else who ain't joined yet. I know you're alright. It's no rush. You get me? Jeez.
Amazon online, bought my wifey trainers. Wifey's got me too. Jimmy Choo's like I'm famous. Navigation time, find a way from here to Vegas. Mexico get litty, taking pictures in bodegas. Online, tickets with no warning. Couple hours later, now I'm on a plane, I'm soaring. Got Wi-Fi on my flight, I can check when we arrive. Tell my people not to rush in case my plane don't land in time. Online like all the time, I got doorbell cams online. Look, I'm seeing DHL, I know my parcel's landing, guys. I can see it on my tracker, you can leave it round the side. I'll be back in 20 minutes, I can see my trip online. Online. I got game online. I make hits online. I got pics online. They get extra likes. Came with extra spice. And I'm next in line. To rinse some easy kicks. And I want them pressed in white. Online. I'm not the texting type. They ain't told you texting died. Man ain't on no texting vibes. Buy clothes online and they're fitted right. Call of Duty, bullets fly. Streaming camera, do it live. My pics are hella tight. Drop top, whip it right, credit score, looking healthy, all the one to get it twice, online, I'm off the limit high, put it on my Instagram, swinging chain, blinging ice, tone it down, get it right, show them how we're living life, cryptocurrencies online, open doors, suicide, online, you could buy this beat online, NFTs, let it fly, brand new ways of getting by, online, I got game online.
Can I get a little real talk?
Yeah, these ones ain't out in the stores, so you only get them over here for now. Say nothing.
Learn them books or flip them packs, pay that tax, we all got options. On credit, APR stacks, pay it all back, now I got options. Chrome on wheels, vampire tints, chocolate mint, options. You can love me, hate me, everyone's got their options. Man don't rave, man just blaze. Sit down in the big man section. Gal get brave, wavy, hashtag drunk in a white rum session. Regin, best you behave, try not walking in big man section. Like a CD get ejected, my whole team roll with protection. Them boy are talking bossy, but really that's just projection. Mentally lacking infection, watch how I eat these MCs for breakfast. I'm a big man, I got no ops, just money making operations. No beef don't never get squashed, I just put them on the grill and steak them. I see man, but I don't watch man, no time, never watch no haters. Plus them men are working dirty, unclean, never watch like pagans. Black skin and blacks, it's murder, just look at that situation. Man running up the mouth on Snap, now I'm ready to play around with it. Learn them books or flip them packs, pay that tax, we all got options. On credit, APR stacks, pay it all back, now I got options. Chrome on wheels, vampire tints, chocolate mint, options. You can love me, hate me, everyone's got their options. What are their options? Do what's right or just do crime, 9 to 5 or do some time. Expect from me some integrity, but these MCs got no spine. What I see from a man pond road don't match what I hear online. Too many man fake it to make it, that flow you drop is so basic. Just smoke screen and props, so a man got it just like locks. Face it, I hate when the talent is wasted. Some of these lines are copy and pasted. They don't want to keep it real. Hannibal Lecter changing faces. Blind men leading the nation, and they don't even know the basics. The devil is so persuasive, the system needs replacing. Switch to the spiritual healing, be careful who you're embracing. Got love for the lower class people, no love for this Mason nonsense. Easy to say, but who would negate that option? Learn them books or flip them packs, pay that tax, we all got options. On credit, APR stacks, pay it all back, now I got options. Chrome on wheels, vampire tints, chocolate mint, options. You can love me, hate me, everyone's got their options. Learn them books or flip them packs, pay that tax, we all got options. On credit, APR stacks, pay it all back, now I got options. Chrome on wheels, vampire tints, chocolate mint, options. You can love me, hate me, everyone's got their options. Learn them books, we all got options. Now I got options. Chocolate mint options. Everyone's got their options.
Yeah, you see how I up the tempos for you lot there. Big up my brother Willie B, yeah, Willie B. Big up yourself, brother. Yeah, appreciate your support. Yeah, and everyone who's in the chat already. Yeah, we're in the warm-up section of the show, so don't watch nothing. If you ain't ready to talk yet, you ain't got to, because I just be playing some tunes right now, just giving you lot a little warm-up. Is it? So just relax your skin. It's jokes and banter. Yeah, don't take it too serious. Some feelings might get hurt. Yeah, I'm not even going to drop the tempo down just yet, but let me just announce, that we're going to be doing a show today about friendships, relationships, forgiveness, and all of that good stuff. Yeah, so we want to hear about your friendships, we want to hear about your relationships, we want to hear the controversy. Yeah, we want to hear the jokes, we want to hear the laughter, we want to hear the pain, we want it all. Yeah, we want a lot over here, don't we? We just want it bloody all, don't we? We want it all. Yeah, so whenever you lot are ready, yeah, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. Yeah, the more people we share the channel with, the more good panelists we're going to have to come over here and have a decent conversation and just be like-minded. Don't take it too seriously, man. Like, and anyone who don't like anyone over here, feel no way. You're allowed to not like people over here. You ain't got to like everybody. All you got to do is just participate in the right way. You know, we're not going to have anyone back and forth in and getting in no big, long, drawn-out arguments and stupidness. We just don't do that kind of stuff over here. So I ain't going to chat too much. Yeah, you know what the show's about. You know why you're here. You know who I am. It's your boy Schiffer. Out to my brother Sham. Out to Natty. Out to 360. Out to all the panelists, all the regulars. Out to G, both Gs. Out to our new panelists. Out to Natalie. Big up yourself. Out to Stanley. Jeez, man like Stanley, you know. How could I forget about Big Stan, you know? Big Stan. Big man like Stan. Pilu. All the brothers then. Everyone's welcome. And if anyone feels like, because someone made a comment, someone said, like, is this a black people's channel or is it like, you know, for everyone? Like, it's not like the channel's colorblind. Yeah, it's for everyone. Yeah, we could talk about some black issues over here. Don't get it twisted. Like, we can do black stuff. We can do that blackety black and I'm black, y'all. But at the same time, we got to keep it, you know, for the people. It's about the people. You know, the community is not just consisting of black people where I come from. Maybe if we was in Africa, we could just do the blackety black show. But right now, that's not what we're doing. So anyone who felt that way, no, it's not that type of party. You know, people of all races, colors, what denominations, however you depict yourself, you're all welcome, man. Yeah, you're all welcome. And I want everyone to have their say. I want everyone to say their piece and be relaxed about it. Now, for all of you guys out there that's in relationships, it will be nice to hear from you guys first. So, you know, when you're already, jump on, talk to us. But in the meantime, between time, I was running some tunes. So let me not even drop the tempo down too much. I'm here chatty patty with Honor. Watch this one now. Let's go.
Tell a boy dead that. R.I.P. Listen. I said I got bars and bars, flows and that. Kilimanjaro, Trojan raps. Killerman's gyro, hoes and that. Never know Disney frozen crap. Them man are risky, talking hard. Took a few risks for my bros and that. Could've put me in a government cell. Few years, no going home, that's fact. Real to my name, not to the game. They flock to the fame like moths to a flame. World is evolving, lost to the change. Real ones like us must be the same. Out of the hood, jump in the lanes. No selling my soul, not just to remain. Say what I feel, must be the pain that comes from inside up to the brain. Gotta stay up, not stuck to a way. Don't never wanna see no hunger again. Play for the team, sharing the food. Them men are playing some hungry games. Bigging up Mary, come with the Jane. Smoking a Harry, don't fuck with the cane. Big boy whip, can't dust him again. When I hit them corners, bust the chicane.
Yeah, I had to pull that one up for you lot still. Make sure you hear the bars. Yeah, the bars are intricate. That. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Alright, let's go again.
Listen. I said I got bars and bars, flows and that. Kilimanjaro, Trojan raps. Killerman's gyro, hoes and that. Never know Disney frozen crap. Them man are risky, talking hard. Took a few risks for my bros and that. Could've put me in a government cell. Few years, no going home, that's fact. Real to my name, not to the game. They flock to the fame like moths to a flame. World is evolving, lost to the change. Real ones like us must be the same. Out of the hood, jump in the lanes. No selling my soul, not just to remain. Say what I feel, must be the pain that comes from inside up to the brain. Gotta stay up, not stuck to a way. Don't never wanna see no hunger again. Play for the team, sharing the food. Them men are playing some hungry games. Bigging up Mary, come with the Jane. Smoking a Harry, don't fuck with the cane. Big boy whip, can't dust him again. When I hit them corners, bust the chicane. Any friend that wanna do man dirty, recognize we won't trust him again. You don't wanna run that mouth in real life, shit might be too much to restrain. Any friend that wanna do man dirty, recognize we won't trust him again. You don't wanna run that mouth in real life, shit might be too much to restrain. Dead that. Tell him R.I.P. If you don't wanna start nothing, then it ain't gonna be. I tell a boy dead that. tell them R.I.P. If you don't wanna start nothing, then it ain't gonna be. Real to the grain, big man like X-Man, ship a damn with a mic in my hand, a killer like Dumb Blaine. Flow insane, get your 2 towers blown up, turn your city to an astro plane. I've been named hottest MC when I spit these flames. When I do roll, drip to the chain. Next thing you know, I get shifted again. Tough hair like a carpet, rough product, take it to the market. Sold out, roll it up, pass it. Celebrate when we hit them targets. Big wheels in the driveway parking. Man is serious, no skylarking. Like Anakin, skywalking. Listen up when the dark side's talking. You're not ready for that, get ready for this. Keep talking your gas, man ready for switch. For what I believe, I'm ready to die. Certain boy talk bad, just taking a piss. Not into the hype, keeping it real. Get a little young buck, something to feel. Life ain't a joke when you're out on road. Shuffle them cards, who's making a deal? Ready for you, you're not ready for me. When I touch mic, I'm lyrically ingenious. Hotter than Mars or Venus. Done with the idiot thing, let's dead that. Ready for you, you're not ready for me. When I touch mic, I'm lyrically ingenious. Hotter than Mars or Venus. Done with the idiot thing, let's dead that. Tell them R.I.P. If you don't wanna start nothing, then it ain't gonna be. Tell a boy dead that. Tell him R.I.P. If you don't wanna start nothing, then it ain't gonna be. Dead that. Tell him R.I.P. If you don't wanna start nothing, then it ain't gonna be. I tell a boy dead that. Tell him R.I.P. If you don't wanna start nothing, then it ain't gonna be. Dead that. Tell him R.I.P. If you don't wanna start nothing, then it ain't gonna be.
Yeah, man, we had to dead that real quick. So yeah, like relationships. They're funny old things, aren't they? Yeah, I got some funny stories about relationships myself, but I'm not gonna go too deep. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real light-minded. Yeah. And truest jokes and banter, I'm not even gonna go like deep like that. I'm just gonna go deep in a more comical way. So I want to talk about some stuff that happens in relationships that I don't know, man. I don't know if anyone else sees these things, but I just got an eye for the world. You know, like that. I keep my eyes open. I see things. I notice things. So watch this one, yeah? Has anyone else seen this with their own 2 eyes, or is it just me seeing things and just making up my own version of things, yeah? So watch this. You see, when a man and a woman, yeah, have a child, yeah? Now, obviously, it's their child. It's both of their child, you know? Obviously, the woman goes through the pregnancy. She gives birth to the child. But ultimately, they both donated their DNA to that baby who now resembles both of them in some ways and is their child, bottom line. But for some reason, I guarantee you, in my opinion anyway, if a man pisses off his woman, that child now becomes her child. You see what I did right there? You like that one? Yeah. But it's kind of true though, isn't it? Like, think about it for a second. You piss her off, and that child now becomes her child. It's no longer our child. Now it's my son or my daughter. I'm taking my son. I'm taking my daughter. I'm gone. We're gone. We're leaving. We're leaving. Hold on. What happened to them being our child? What happened to, you know, co-parenting? I don't know, man. And what makes them, the mums, so adamant? The child wants to go with them. Like, what makes them so adamant? There might be some kids out there that's thinking in the back of their mind, oh, really, like, Mom, I don't really want to go with you. I want to stay with that. I want to stay with that. You never know, innit? Like, until you know. But I just thought that one was funny still. Like, and the amount of people I've seen in that situation, and what made me think of it is the last show we did. Yeah. And we had, I think Natty said something like this, something about, you know, baby mothers not letting the pitney them see the dads and rare tear. I don't remember the exact conversation, so I don't want to go too deep and start putting words in my brother Natty 2 Dreads mouth because him can't speak for himself, you see it? But me, I gotta see this. All right, let me allow the accent for the people who don't understand. Yeah, I observe that in that situation, even with like females in my own family, I see that energy where the child will all of a sudden become theirs, and your rights are now stripped from you. You know, it's like, is that fair? You know, like that. And how do we work this? How do we work this situation out within our relationships? Like, how do we stop ourselves from being in that position where we're going to stop a parent from seeing a child, or, you know, our argument is going to override the fact that that child's got two parents, or our argument's going to override the fact that the child didn't create the argument. It's not their fault. You know, maybe they want the parents to stay together. Maybe there's things the child wants. Maybe, like, these are the things we need to focus on more than just our arguments. Because as people, we like to argue. We like to get our way. When we don't get our way, we get upset. You know, I'm not perfect, so I'm guilty of this also. And, you know, not all the time, but I'd say there's going to be times when all of us can be, what's the right word? Sorry, not the white word, the right word. All of us can be a bit belligerent. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. And a bit forceful in trying to get our own way. And when people don't see things our way, sometimes, you know, we don't even, what's the word? Sometimes we fail to acknowledge that they've just got a different point of view or a different opinion. And, you know, it's good to listen. Hold up. Who's that? Who's that in the side chat? Who goes there? Oh, it's Natalie. What's happening, Nat?
Yeah. You all right?
Yeah, what's popping? Talk to me. Talk
Not
to
a
me.
lot,
What's
you?
popping?
What's popping?
I'm good. Did you get the did you get the question of the day to obviously know what the show's about and everything, and, you know, have you
No, I
been
didn't.
listening?
No.
Okay, well, we were talking about relationships today, and friendships and forgiveness and all of that good stuff. And I wanted to start on relationships only because of the conversation that I believe you was having with some of the guys yesterday. And, you know, they were talking about baby mothers not letting baby fathers see their kids and XYZ. And I just thought, you know, of a situation where, you know, a man and a woman have a baby. It's their baby to start off with, you know, and everything is kind of split down the middle. It's all equal. But if that man and that woman get into an argument, all of a sudden, it's her baby. It's my child. Have you ever witnessed this yourself? Or is this just me making stuff up? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm guilty of doing that.
Jeez,
Guilty of
you're
saying my kids. Well, it felt like they were my kids because he did sod all.
I like the honesty, but
So,
they are still
yeah.
both of yours, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I know, but he didn't really do a lot, so
When you say he didn't really do a lot, as
I
in he
felt like they
never,
were just mine.
well, he never bought nappies or none of that.
He never. No, don't be daft. He just went to work at 7 and got home at 9, and
So he did contribute then.
yeah.
So he didn't do nothing. Can't say he did nothing.
From going to work?
Yeah, and providing.
He did nothing with the kids.
Stuff, yeah. He provided for them.
Well, yeah.
That's technically,
I suppose, yeah.
one of the most important things he has to do. I wouldn't say it's all that a dad has to do, but one of the most important. You know,
I work as well, though.
Yeah, you're a mum. You provide too. Mums can provide too. We're equals.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I shouldn't laugh. I'm saying sometimes though, but I think that kind of does make sense though. Like, in the sense of, there are times where we're not so equal.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Such as?
Like men's and women's football. I couldn't see them mixing the game. Because the men's game is I would say a lot more aggressive, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. The women could be more aggressive when it's just women playing, but I think playing with men is going to be difficult to keep up with the physical stature of a man as a female. So, you know, that's just my take on it. Who goes there? Who that? Kingo? What's
Yo,
popping, Kingo?
pull up, guns out in the air.
Wagwan, my brother, talk to me, man.
Yes. What's happening, brother? What's happening? Hi, guys. Big up the panel. Big up, man. I just came to say hello.
How do you feel about the subject?
I've just literally dropped in. I saw that my brother Jokes and Banks was broadcasting live. So I thought, you know what, let me just come in, and I'm fresh in. I really just assessed the scene yet, but yeah, I'm going to sit here quietly just for a little bit and just catch up with what you guys are talking about, the topic and whatnot.
Well,
but yeah,
so far,
yeah.
So far, now I was kind of running jokes earlier, but it was kind of like, you know, even when you're joking, even when you're making jokes, there's a seriousness to everything, you know, in the sense of, what did I say again? I said when two people, man and woman, have a child, you know, it's their child, it's both of theirs. But if the man pisses a woman off, like in a lot of situations that I've seen with my own two eyes, all of a sudden that child becomes her child. It's now my child, kind of thing, you know, like that. Natalie's kind of admitted to doing the same thing, so we're all on the same kind of, you know, plane of existence here. We know it's not a myth, it does happen. And, you know, what kind of effect my question was going to be, what kind of effect, Natalie, do you think that might have on the kids to see you take that standpoint?
I don't know. They might see dad as not an equal in the relationship.
I hear that still. I hear that.
Yeah.
Do you know another one I was thinking? Yeah, it's funny as it sounds. Like the kids could question whether that's even their real dad. You know, like that. It could bring up questions because, like, if that's your real dad, why ain't you got a real say? You know, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think some kids might feel that way. You know,
Maybe.
like that. Or they might feel like, they might even feel like mom's being a bully, you know, like that. These times you might not even be the bully in the situation. You might be trying to get away from someone else creating the situation, but now you look like the aggressor because of the stance. You see where I'm coming from? What do you think of Kingo, seeing as you're here and you're third panelist? Talk to us, Mr. Third Wheel, please, if you can. Is he still there? He's probably doing something.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You know what I'm trying to do? I'm kind of like, what I'm doing is I'm trying to catch up with what the general gist of the actual full context of the whole sort of overview of what you're talking about. And yeah, I'm here kind of cooking at the same time, brother. So you have to forgive me. Like I just said, I just come in, kind of catching up with the.
Let me ask you a question. When you was growing up, did you ever experience that as a child, or have you experienced that as an adult and seen it in other people's relationships or in your own, where, you know, a woman and a man's got into an argument, all of a sudden the kids are now her kids? They're no longer ours. They're no longer ours. They're hers.
You see, I think if a man, this is how I see things, yeah, really and honestly, and I'm seeing this as a man's point of view. I've got trying to catch no brownie points here or whatever, or virtual signals. You can hear it how it is, family, yeah. With a man, a woman trying to take control of what's in her stomach because she's going to give birth to it. All the rest of that malarkey is totally fine, and I can understand that. Yeah, that's logical. It makes sense, but you can't claim something that's it's a joint thing. And also, I think in this liberal time and age in the West, women have got so much power now that it's just beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's stupidly fixed. against men, and the only reason why that is because man has more to lose when it comes to the judicial system. So that's why they give women so much power. Actually, it's more of a financial gain for the system when a woman gets more power in a relationship in a domestic situation. So that's why I'm all for women's power, man, and rights. But before you talk about anything to do with a child and you taking control, you got to understand there's a hierarchy, man. There's a hierarchy, and the hierarchy says that it's a joint decision if there's a child involved, and you're talking about termination or whatever you're going to do in future plans.
Right.
And men and a woman, you need to settle down, man.
Right.
The man controls the house, man. The man controls the house.
Can I pause you for 1 second, yeah? Because we got to where I wanted you guys to be at. Now where I wanted you to be.
Yeah, and stop throwing yourself around as well, man. Have your kids and stop throwing your around like it's a frisbee.
Man said like a frisbee.
That's a sacred thing.
We say one man for the boom boom.
Sorry to cut your wisdom, man.
Don't make me laugh. But no, differently. My next question, because I was kind of leading up to my next question. Now, I want to hear from Natalie first because Natalie's a female, and I want to hear her perspective. Now, Natalie, from the perspective of the child, who sees that the mum seems to have more power within.
Oh, hello.
In the relationship, the world we live in now. Yeah.
Start again.
If that child is,
you cut out a little piece.
Can you hear me now? Is that better now?
Start that again.
All right. So what I was saying is now the child who is growing up in that situation, who's seeing that, mum seem to have more power, or, the feminine people of the world seem to have more power in the way the system is divided, is put together, long story short. If that child happens to be a boy child, do you think there is a higher percentage of that child being gay?
No. I think you're either born gay or you're not.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Now we're talking. That's a big
whoa.
Well, you are, aren't you?
I'm not going to go there. Hey, listen. I'm not going to go into that conversation because it's going to be too far. In fact, we can do, but I just think that's a funny conversation. Born gay. Come on, man.
Well, you are, aren't you? You don't change who you are. Don't change your core personality and your values and your beliefs.
I don't know about that, Baba. I don't know if anyone's born gay. Big up Eve as well. Big up Sister Eve. Yeah, Willie B, thank you, brother, for helping us promote the show as well. Big up, my brother. But I want to say this, when you say born gay, this is what it says to me, that this child came out of the womb sexually attracted to people of the same sex. Now, that to me is impossible.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean they're predisposed to be gay. It's not something that happens to you from your environment, is it?
I would say it does, but I'm listening to your version of events and trying to understand.
I don't think it is. I think you're born a certain way. I mean, it's like the nature nurture bit, isn't it? But if you're either, you can be born a violent person, or you can be brought up in a violent environment, and then that makes you violent.
I'm hearing you, but I'll be honest. It's like I've never met any camp babies, like that. I've never met any.
Yeah, but obviously they don't come out like bloody Alan Carr, do they? Obviously. But
so go on.
That's their personality, and that's their traits, and that's their feelings, and they know from a young age. You don't, they won't. If bloke's gay, he's not going to go out with women to start with. Well, he might do, I suppose.
I don't know.
But...
Yeah, I don't know about that one either. I'm a bit because I know these things happen. There's men, they get in relationships, have kids, and then years later they've come out and said they're gay, and now
Yeah, but that's
they're
because
in
it's society, isn't it?
same-sex relationships. I hear you, but I just think from my perspective, nobody is born knowing anything, and to be something you have to know it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you're born predisposed to things, aren't you?
When you say born predisposed to things, what do you mean exactly by predisposed? Can you break that down for us so we can understand that a baby can be predisposed and this definitely is happening? Explain it, please.
So for example, like genetics, or depression and anxiety, if your parents have got it, then you're predisposed to it as well.
So are you saying that if the parent's gay, then the child is predisposed to gay?
No.
What are you saying then? What do you mean then? Explain.
Just that I don't know how else to say it, but you are born gay. Okay, if you believe
if you believe it, you should know how to say it. Does that make sense? It's like, I'll give you an example of why I say that, Now, I would say that I'm an Israelite, and
right.
I believe it, and I can explain it. I can explain why I believe it. I can explain why it's relevant. I can explain where it comes from. I can show you the history of it. Now, in that regard, I think it will be easier for a person to accept if we had a more lengthy, in-depth explanation as to how this child is predisposed. Are they being? Is this something they're learning from the parent? Are they learning it from their environment? Because if they are learning it from any aspect of these things, then technically, it's not genetic then, is it? And they can't be born that way.
But they can, because you don't learn to be gay.
Huh?
You don't learn to be gay. It's not something you're taught. Oh, okay, you're gonna be gay and you're gonna be straight. You don't teach a child that. They know that in themselves.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you teach a child to be feminine or masculine? That's my question.
No.
You can't teach someone. You can't teach. So you're saying you can't, or you don't, or what is your actual?
You can, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't put that on a child. You shouldn't say boys don't cry. That kind of thing.
And you shouldn't buy little girls dollies. You should buy them a PlayStation.
You can buy little girls dollies, but
no, but we shouldn't though.
You can also buy little boys dollies.
No, but think about it like this, If you're saying we shouldn't feminize and we shouldn't masculate, or whatever the word is, then technically, we shouldn't be giving these young girls dollies and makeup and these things, because that's going to make them feminine. We shouldn't be teaching them, certain types of etiquette, because that's feminine. But because we know what feminine is, we teach that to our daughters. Does that make sense? And because we know what masculine is,
don't they? They learn it from their mothers.
And from the boys learn masculinity from their fathers, girls learn masculinity from their fathers also. But ultimately, when it comes down to the crunch, it's like, if I know that by giving a little girl dollies and doing her hair all the time and making her wear dresses and stuff, it makes her feel feminine, and it kind of nurtures that feminine energy. If I do the same thing with a boy child, then is that not going to do the same, have the same similar kind of effects? And then in the same respect now, as a child growing up, knowing that, the women in the house seem to have more power in regards to, they dictate where the child goes, whether the child's got two parents or not, these types of things. I believe that could also feminize the child, because the child may feel that they've got a stronger standpoint in life from a feminine standpoint. Do you feel where I'm coming from? So that was where my argument was stemming from. But I would like to know from your perspective, because I'm really interested in what you said. You said these children are born gay. If they're gay, they're born that way. So I need to really understand how that's possible. And I'm not, yeah, let's let me give you some space.
Well, it's like you're either born. I don't know how to explain it.
You can be born. You can be born black. I could agree with that one because, or at the end of the day, what we know to be black or dark skinned, is something. It's a trait like that. It's visible. It's a visible trait. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, to say someone was born,
isn't a trait, is it?
Do you feel where I'm coming from? So how would I know that child was gay until they came out and said they was gay? And then how would I know that they haven't learned gay from somewhere?
Because I don't think it's something that you learn. You don't pick and you don't choose to be gay. It's just something you are.
So you don't choose to be straight either?
No. You either
I chose to be. See, but the thing is, like I kind of disagree because I honestly feel like I chose to be straight. I feel like when I started out in life, I wasn't sexually attracted to anything. I didn't know what sex was. I wasn't interested in sex whatsoever. I knew I had a penis and I knew I had, balls and the rest of it, like that. But I never thought about using them on anything or anyone. Yeah. Until one day, I had some not instructions, but was given the sex education kind of talk what they give you in school, and now all of these things became evident to me that this piece goes with that piece, like jigsaw, like Lego. They actually fit together and they produce stuff, they do things. Do you understand? So that kind of sparked off something in my brain, that made women now attractive. Now, I don't understand it from the opposite direction where someone found men attractive. I don't understand that. But I think that someone had to still teach me, that women and men can procreate and these things before I understood it that way and was, getting involved in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then how can we say that they haven't learned it then? That's where I get confused.
Because they're learning about relationships at the end of the day. You're learning about relationships, not well, I suppose I don't know how old you are. But I suppose when I was at school, it wasn't being gay wasn't an accepted thing, was it? So sex education was all about men and women, having babies, and that's the crux of society, isn't it, to reproduce?
I don't know. I think you see when I was at school, it was like this. In primary school, they just taught you about the basics, men and women, and just missionary kind of stuff. Yeah, and then when you got to secondary school, that's when they started going deep and started telling you about all gay stuff and all of this weird stuff. I weren't really interested, like that. But at the same time,
because you're not gay.
Well, not even just because I'm not gay, but because, like, for me, I didn't need a teacher to tell me what sex was at that point. I already knew now, and it's too late. We'd already discussed it in the playground. Do you know, like that? Some of these kids was having sex in secondary school by the time they was like 13 and stuff. Like, they, like that. So, these discussions was being had. But I think in the same respect, without you seeing something, like for instance, when you think about the concept of a macho man, then the macho man, or the big man, like like that whole persona, it's a learned persona. It's a persona that's out there that you can visibly watch. This in TV programs, you'll see people acting like it, just out there in the world on a regular day-to-day basis. Like this thing exists, and people are learning this behavior. That's how I look at it, and I don't look at homosexuality as anything different. I don't look at being straight as anything different. I put them in the same category. You learn this behavior, and what is the reason for learning that behavior? There's many reasons. Sometimes it could be, like for religious reasons or just upbringing. Sometimes it could be through experimentation. It could be through porn. There's many avenues that these things can be learned through, but someone learned something from somewhere. and they decided to go through with it and try it out. Do you know, like
Yeah,
that?
but I always knew I was attracted to men and not women.
I hear you. You always knew that, but how did you know that? Did someone teach that to you, or did you just
No,
wake up
it's
in
just
the middle of the night one
ingrained.
night?
It's ingrained.
Can I just respect?
Yeah, jump in, chime in.
Yeah, just put my piece in. Like, well, I've been listening quite, a little bit, and I think when you're a kid, you grow up and you don't know what to expect, and you kind of see what you're meant. You see what you see in a man with woman, but you're still like, how does everything go? You're very, very shy, unknowing, all the words that come with sort of like basically being new to something, isn't it? Like anxious, and I think that's all natural, but that is only in the fear of trying something new, not in the I don't know what I am, or I don't know if I should be a woman or a man. All of that skepticism or apprehensive-ness is because you're doing something new, which is quite personal to you. Right? That's all I see it as. So when you're coming up, for you to be thinking about what should I be doing and who should I be having sex with is crazy. And if you are thinking that way, your family have done a very bad job. If your mind's floating off to where you want to put your private parts is just madness. I think I mean that's just my point on it. But not to anybody here. I think just in general, everybody's got their opinions on if people are predisposed to be gay or are gay. Sorry, someone's not micing. You hard micing.
Get it off Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, she hard micing. It's all right. I'll let her finish. I don't think she's she knows she's on the phone. Hello, sis, you need to mute up, because we can hear your conversation. We can hear your conversation.
Yeah. So basically, like I can go. You don't have to be so what's the word? So politically correct with your language, man. You can just say you're dicking your balls.
Oh, is it? Am I tiptoeing around? Do you know what it is, bro? I just feel like sometimes I don't. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'll wait until she finished, man, because I can't multitask like that. If someone's because I've grown up under discipline. It's funny, that even someone speaking like just like in a background is very hard for me to concentrate. And I'm thinking, is it because I was raised in that specific surrounding where everything was sort of like structured and disciplined, and it irks me. And I'm like, I can't multitask like now because of it. But maybe that's just normal. But I know. But going back to this whole gay thing, is it people predisposed, man? It's a crazy thing, and I feel like the reason why the lady's very intelligent, and I hear a lot of people doing this, but predisposed to being gay. What wouldn't give you the idea that you've got such the answer to it? How do we know that people are predisposed to being gay, right? At such a infant stage, into sentient sort of being, if you want to put it like like being aware and having all your senses, understanding your surroundings. Yeah. Now, it's crazy that we think that we know what the fuck it's like. We've been fed that, oh yeah, you're predisposed to being gay, and that's it. It's just like now everybody's saying it, but like someone who doesn't even know basic arithmetic, that should never know about early stages of biological sort of growth, feeding a human being, would know nothing about that, but yet they feel so comfortable and say, "Oh yeah, we're predisposed, or we're not predisposed." Like we fucking know.
Yeah, but Kingo, don't that give you a different don't it give you a different opinion on kids, like, because if kids are thinking about like gayness from when they're like in the womb, bro, like that means that like I want to go there, man. Let me shut that down.
That's weird. That's strange. That's strange. That's creepy. I'm gonna be telling him, bro. Come on, man. Look, like this is creepy, isn't it? You should be pushing a choo-choo train down the thing, saying Thomas the Tank Engine, go. Not playing.
What are you saying? They're in the womb thinking about sucking dicks and shit.
Yeah, all them things there, all the things there. Oh, let me see your willy now. Let me see. And they're probably talking about willies and all them things there. And the thing is, it's strange because we weren't talking about them things there. We didn't have that problem. And I think, you know, you always have a little joke and laugh. Oh, you know, I'm sure girls do it. You know, you got small little titties and you got small, you know, small things or whatever. But that's as far as it goes. I mean, you know, I think today is crazy that it's, you know what annoys me, and I swear to God, brother, I swear I know normal real people that just, like, you know, intelligent people as well that do this. Oh yeah, we're predisposed. Oh, human beings are predisposed to being gay. Excuse me, what qualifies you and the person that told you? If white people don't even know their original, where they've come from and how they've come across into this planet, how the pyramids were here, those are questions that we probably see right now. They can't there's so many things that they can't create that were here thousands of years, but they can tell you that we're predisposed to being gay. And they can't even, half the planet is dying because we can't plant anything in the floor. But they haven't even been able to even fix the floor yet. And they're trying. And they're trying to make magic.
Can you say Black Power at the end of this speech, please? Just say Black Power.
No, bro, I'm not. It's not one of them ones. I'm really not trying to do that. I'm just saying, I'm being very, very, very honest with you. We discovered we discovered the pillars of nature, right, and all the laws of nature thousands of years ago, right? So for someone to try and come around to try and twist it or try and turn it into, oh well, we were wrong before and now we're right. We're human beings were predisposed to being gay. You know, you're making these outlandish statements. It's just like, yeah, and what qualifies you to understand that and come to that conclusion, my friend, right? And you saying that there's less masculinity in one person, and they were born with more estrogen. Maybe a way you can see, you know, if they've got less testosterone in their body, but even then, it doesn't matter. Like who you're going to be with and put your private parts in is a decision, right? So even if you were predisposed to being more likely to being gay, you still aren't gay. You still are normal. You still can make a decision to do the normal thing, make the Lego bits fit where they're meant to fit, and bang. But
I like how today said normal.
Because what this is a rebellion from the natural order, and it's been tried to. They've tried to sort of string it up in a way where have I chased her away? I've chased the lady away, man.
Probably.
Sorry, bro. I think I've chased the female panelists away, bro.
Oh, that was killer.
Oh my god, sorry, man. If you want to come back, sis, I wasn't going to be up here for long anyway. I'm saying if they really want to do that, I mean, I think it's crazy. But there's a couple of things I want to address. Mate, all I hope is I haven't chased off this lady and she just rug pulled or her internet connection.
You know the only thing I'd say to you, Kingo, though, yeah, like I'm a strong believer in nothing being impossible, but somebody would have to be able to explain it to me in words that I can understand for me to accept the possibilities or to accept the likeliness of them, not necessarily the possibility, but the likeliness of. So that was where my mind was at with it. I think as far as my reasoning and my logic tells me that, you know, I'm being silly if I think babies are thinking about sucking dicks when they're in the womb and all of these types of things. So, I'm going to put that out of perspective, out of the equation, sorry. And I'm going to say that these kids are not sexualized. Like, they're not, this isn't something that you have to learn it at a later stage in life. And if it's learned, we just have to accept that it's learned. If it's not learned, I just need to see that it's not learned. There's actually is there a gay gene? Like that? Because someone put in the chat, someone said, Magic Johnson is gay and he's passed it on to his son. Now, I don't think you can pass gay on to your I don't think you can pass it on. Like, it's not a disease. I don't know, man. Talk to me. Someone else go. Let me hear from Stanley. We got Stanley here, man. I've not even heard from Stanley yet.
Well, you know, I'm going to take it in a slightly different perspective. I think they're two different arguments. You know, I think as a parent, do you really care? I think parents generally want their kids to thrive, and those aren't the sort of questions you ask when you're caring for a child. You know, they will be who they are, you know, whether it's nature or nurture. The child is important, and that's the job of a parent. I think that, you know, whether it's nature, nurture, genetics, born a certain way, that's kind of beyond a parental scope. You know, let's leave it to the scientists, psychologists. Parents are parents. You love your child. You take care of your child. They are your job, responsibility. Thriving, whoever they turn out to be, is really, to me, the most important thing.
Yeah, those are some good points, man. Definitely, man. I can't argue with any of that. And I think, like, you know, like you said, the well-being of your child is obviously going to be paramount. That's going to take the lead position in priorities. I just think
you guide them as best you can. In the end, kids are going to be who they are. You know,
that's
being a good person.
But I think what the real question is, though, Stanley, is, do they learn who they are from what?
Does it really matter? Does it really matter?
To an extent, yeah. Of course it
matters. Then you'll have to educate me. Why does it matter to a parent as long as the kid is thriving?
Because you want your kid to thrive, but you don't want your kid to thrive at the detriment to others, do you? Or, you know, to be some kind of I don't know, any kind of what do you call them? Any kind of weirdo.
Well, I mean, you know, we just had a shooting in America again. And you know what? A kid who's 18 who shoots up a school, I never ask whether they're gay or not. Sometimes gay or straight, evil is a little bit more of a concern.
But then, do you see the problem with this, Stanley, though? The problem with this is, if I can say that a learned behavior, you know, I've taken part in, but it's not my fault because I was born this way, then you could do that with anything. That guy who shot up the school, he could say, well, I was born that way. I've got a birth defect that makes me shoot up schools. And how can we argue with that?
I think the point is hopefully the parents didn't train their kid to go shooting up schools.
Well, they obviously trained him to do something wrong.
Well, could be. But again, to me, they're two different questions. It's not an all-encompassing question. You know, how they got that way, you know, maybe genetic, it may not be. How I raised them to be, kids will choose, you know, their parents' training, or they will not choose their parents' training. I don't see, you know, the whole question about, you know, girls with dolls and boys with, you know, toy guns. I don't see that as the real issue. They will be
I
who
hear
they
you.
are.
I hear you, but I was listening to Coach Love's show. Yeah, if anyone don't know about Coach Love, she's got a channel on YouTube, and you know she has some really serious conversations over there. I was listening to one, and there was a guy, and he's talking about being abused, and you know there's another guy who was abused in the same way, but he's saying that the other guy uses it as an excuse for his, you know, criminal behavior and other behaviors that aren't so good. Now, what
Well,
he's saying
I'm
is,
assuming parents aren't going to abuse their kids. That's not, you know, looking out for your kids and making sure they thrive. So, you know, of course,
yeah,
there are
no,
exceptions
but
to the rule.
the reason I brought that up here is because to me that just sounded like an excuse. It's like, well, because you was abused, that's an excuse for you to go out and do the wrong thing, or to, you know, want to hurt other people or do something crazy. Nah, that just sounds like an excuse to me. The same way when someone says to me someone was born gay, you know, that sounds to me like a cop out. It doesn't
It
sound like you're
sounds
really
like a
serious
different
about what
question.
you're doing. No, I mean in the sense of, if you're serious about what you're doing, if this is really you, this is something you're really into, you know, like I couldn't know that I was into snooker without playing snooker or pool or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Now, until I've played the game, I'm not going to really be able to tell you, you know, and I have to learn the game to play it, don't I? So therefore, you know, I don't understand the reasoning, you know. Now, if someone's gay and they learned it, what difference does it make whether you learned it or whether it's biological? What difference?
Well,
Like,
that's actually my point. Why does it matter at all?
all
You
right,
are who
that's,
you are.
yeah, I'm with
That's
you.
really my point.
But let me answer the question though, because what difference it makes is that if you really mean what you're doing, you should know that what you're doing is something that is you know, you've learned it and you understand it fully and you've made a calculated decision. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? If you're just going to say you're gay and you think it's biological, you might not actually be gay. You might just not have actually found the right situation for you to operate in the opposite behavior, if that makes sense. So, you know,
Well,
I just think it's about
it's a
brain.
theory.
Yeah, I think everything's about using your brain and working out, you know, what works for you. That's what I think everything is in life. You know, it's like a person who like me, like myself. I used to like football growing up. I like watching it, but playing football weren't my thing. But I didn't know that till I started kicking the ball around. I thought I'd be great at football. And then when I started kicking the ball and seeing what other people was doing kicking the ball, I said, nah, I'm not, this one ain't for me. So I tried another sport. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? And that's how I know it's not like, it's not impossible, because some things are genetic, you know. But guy who's good at football, I believe that one is genetic. You know, his body is just, you know, put together a certain way. You know, he's got really good balance, and, you know, certain aspects of his game rely upon that. Do you feel where I'm coming from?
Well, I
But
guess
the
my
gay thing, I don't know, bro. I can't place it in the same kind of category like that. When you say genetics, I can't place it in that category.
I guess
In my
my
mind.
position is once the child is born, it does not matter, you know, from a parenting perspective.
Yeah, I suppose. It depends on the parent, though, I think, as well. I feel that one depends on the parent. Because if you're like, say, like, you're a Muslim parent, then it's gonna be, that's a difficult one, isn't it? Because it is gonna matter now, isn't it? I don't know. Like, talk to me.
Well,
Or if you're like
religion
a
is
Jewish parent or something, you know, like that. Like, it's gonna be a difficult one.
Okay, if you say so.
Well, obviously, because remember, like, you're not. I don't know. Can you be Jewish and gay? I don't know if that one works, because I'm sure
Well,
you can't be Muslim and gay.
well, no. Okay. You can't be any religion and gay, but yet it happens. I think
No,
they're
you
two
can be in
separate
some.
things.
You can be in some, man. You got gay Christians out there, man. They're out there, man. Trust me, man. They got gay marriages and all of that going on. Yeah, man, this is happening. Like, I can't speak for every religion. I just know that there are things happening. So I'm not going to say you can't be, because someone might come in along like tomorrow and then prove us wrong, and I'm going to look stupid. So I'm just not even going to speak on it too much, because I don't know for certain, but I do know that there are definitely gay marriages. And,
Well,
you know,
I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of, the way I think, but I think you deal with what is and leave it to the scientists, or, time you have to, sit around and drink a beer and think about why. You have to deal with what is.
don't make me laugh. So what was I going to say to you then? Does anybody else have anything else they want to say about this subject, or can we move on to a new question? Okay, let's move on to a new question. So my next question is, let me ask, who just unmuted?
Oh, me.
Okay, I'll ask you then. So as far as the previous question, I think we're kind of undecided. We've got mixed views. But like things like being very affectionate with a child. Do you think that being overly affectionate with a child can affect that child's sexuality? Talk to us.
No, I think it just makes them a tactile person, doesn't it?
In what respect? In what respect?
Well, I'm a very affectionate person, but that's because I was cuddled a lot and stuff as a child, whereas like my friend wasn't. And she's not, she's not a very affectionate person. She doesn't like hugs, and, she hates it when I hug her, but I do it anyway.
But as a boy child, then, do you think if you're overly affectionate with a boy child, then do you think that could make them a bit more feminine than?
Well, I've got a son, and I'm very affectionate with him, and he's not feminine. He's 6. He's very much a boy.
I mean, it's important for parents to be who they are. Being real is important to child rearing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That was a good answer. All right, my next question is, are dads allowed to kiss their sons on the lips, or is that weird?
No, it's not weird. Why would that be weird?
Blood, if you do it, just make sure you don't do it in front of me, or you do it behind closed doors, or you just never ever show it ever head, because you'll get beaten up. You'll get beaten up. Honestly, now these days, because it's such a highly scrutinized problem. Yeah, you can't do nothing like that. Like even
why
Beckham,
are they gonna get beaten up though? Why are they gonna get beaten up, guys?
Listen, Beckham gave his daughter a kiss, and you know what the Chinese tabloids were saying, that he was doing some paedophilic stuff, because they were back and forth with the trade problems, and then they just said, "Yeah, you don't want to play with our trade." Well, Beckham was kissing his daughter, and they put it in a newspaper, everywhere on the newspaper. Beckham's kissed his daughter on the lips. Beckham's been, oh my God. So they just they thought, all right, you want to play with us, we're going to pick out one of your icons. And they just went for Beckham. But yeah, it's a funny one, that is, because there's so much, and it's quite, these are touchy subjects right now, right? They're controversial.
How old is his daughter?
I think she's 10. But she was 7 at the time of the picture.
Oh, kids will tell you their boundaries.
Okay. I think everyone's done with that question. So moving on to my next question. I'd like to get some serious answers for this one, but I don't mind, if it's not a serious answer, but I'd prefer a serious answer. Do you think that if children are physically chastised, as in get beaten, or slapped, or however you want to put it in perspective in your mind, smacked on the hand or whatever you want to call it, do you think that those children end up being tougher than the ones who don't get smacked?
End up being what, sorry?
Tougher than the ones who don't get smacked.
See, then you're going back to the whole predisposed thing again, aren't you? In the nature-nurture debate.
Well, yeah, because you said predisposed, so I'm kind of trying to find some angles to understand, your understanding of predisposed versus mine, so then I can understand why you would say that they're born a certain way, if that makes sense. And I'm seeing if our
They reckon
reasoning
there's a murder gene, don't they?
Whoa, talk to me. Hold up. A murder gene.
They reckon there's a murder gene, yeah. But it doesn't mean you're going to be a murderer.
I'm going to have to look this up, but
yeah,
I'd like to know who has the murder gene, if it does exist. I'd like to know all the people who possess the murder gene, if it does exist, because I don't want to be murdered. All right.
No.
I'm gonna look this up right now. Akingo, what do you think of the murder gene? Or Stanley, talk to me, because hey, that was great. That sounds crazy to me. Anybody else?
Listen, if you eat meat, you've got a murder gene. That means you've got a gene that makes you want to eat pus and guts and blood. That's to me a murder gene. If you shake uncontrollably because you're withdrawing from eating meat, that means that you're a cannibal. You eat meat. Your cannibals shake when they withdraw from not eating.
Cotton Sock says it's the anger gene, not the murder gene. But Cotton Socks, if you're not too busy, I'm gonna put the link in the chat again. You could jump on and explain to us why it's the anger gene, not the murder gene. But at the same time, I'm gonna look up both. I'm gonna look up anger gene and murder gene, and I'm gonna see who has the angry genetics, who has the murder genetics, and if these murderers can be stopped. We're gonna have to stop them.
So do we? Can I just ask a question to the panel? Do we? Because obviously we're all pretty much studied. We all like the information. Does anybody come across anything to do with actual gene that they've actually said, yeah, this is a gay gene, or because I don't know if they've even done that yet. I think it's a level of testosterone in your body. Will determine whether you're going to have more of the feminine or male traits or behaviors that you will sort of, So I think it's all based down to that, and that would be down to your size of your body, what sort of food you're eating, what age you're at, your environment, different circumstances, even your mind state, your mentality. So, lot of things are playing into that, man. But I'm definitely not going to say, hands down, ever again, something that's absolute. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, this is absolute. It's definite. It's 100%. Because for you to say it's 100%, that means that you should have studied enough to know that you can't know anything 100% anyway. Like I feel like English people just need to change our whole mindset, because we feel like we know everything, and that's what it is. And because it's more likely to be that, or there's so many people here have said it, that's what it is. And I'm sick and tired of it, to be honest with you. They've made us, just damned us, bruv. Always using collectiveness. We. Oh, this is what it is. Now all of a sudden it's like we're predisposed to being gay. And who said that? Where's that? Where's the research to make to guide us to believe in what you're saying? So Yeah, man, just think for yourself, family. Just think, man. Don't just say things that you've heard that sounds good because you want to be right. Or it's not the quickest question. It's not the fastest fingers. All right. It's not the quickest person to ask a question. Just think about it properly. Just say, look, I don't know, or I've heard that it's this, or but when you're presenting it like you're definitely sure about it, it to me now, know what I know, it makes people sound stupid. And I got past like just people just have a bias and they just want to say what they want to say, even though they know the truth that they don't know. You know, the people like that just will just say it because they've got a bias in it. They've got a game plan. But if you're saying that honestly, I just say just put some more effort into it, innit? Just put some more effort into doing some discovery and just to know that you'll never know, really. And the fact that there's a 90% chance that we are not predisposed to being gay just makes me wonder where in that 9% makes you, and that 1% being just we'll never know, what made that 9% makes you so sure that you want to say it without even, you know, like it's dead sure, like you're dead sure about it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, this whole anger gene thing, someone's dead sure about it, because I just found a whole page on it. Look, it says, in 2010, scientists discovered the anger-causing gene HTR2B, which is responsible for impulsive and violent behavior in human beings. This gene affects the production and detection of neurotransmitter serotonin in the brain. Handling anger depends on your genetics and your body's ability to work with certain chemicals and hormones. It means if your brain cannot react with serotonin as it's meant to, you may find it more difficult to regulate your emotions and tend to fly off into a rage easily. So when I'm looking at this thing with the anger gene, like they've got a family here, and apparently, you know, this family has the anger genes, the angry genetics. We had some kind of an explanation. I'm not going to say it's 100%, but I'm not going to say it doesn't exist because I ain't a scientist. I don't know what they did. I'd have to be able to recreate that experiment and then realize that all the angriest people in the world have a high percentage of that, or have that genetic code within them. I don't know. I don't know, man. What?
Hey, quick question though. Can you copy that link and, you know, just DM it to me?
That link here?
Yeah, the one you just looked at.
Yeah, let me copy that.
Like, for anybody to say, we definitely come, tall black people come from Anunnaki, which is in Sirius B, for sure, for definite, because our ancestors also, that's our origin story. I still don't believe it, even though that's got way more likely to be true than us being predisposed to being gay. I'm not, and it's a very, very constant circular question and topic that we talk about is people being predisposed to gay, LGBT, gay. So it's very prominent, and yeah, I you know, I like I said, I'm more likely now. The fact that we're here on a planet and there's people that before us believe they came from another star system and they traveled in spaceships, they inhabited this earth and started doing genetically modifying genetically engineered creations. Yeah, they were making stuff on this planet basically. Yeah, like that was hard for you to believe when you're a young person coming up, but the older you get, the more you start to realize actually that's actually quite possible. And then you kind of look at stuff for what there's theory and there's practical, and a lot of the people that push philosophy and science these days are all theoretical. Nothing practically have they shown like that's tangible. A lot of it's theory. So it's very dangerous to play around with philosophy in a Western world because everything's theory based. So when they're talking about a lot of literally 90% of what they're talking about. Maybe 99, it's probably something as big as that. It's all theory. It was all theory, and what's it called? The other one? There's another word for it. Sorry, there's like a theory, and then there's another way. But I haven't been in this whole speakers corner game for so long. I've actually forgotten.
Oh, what are you talking about? Hypothesis?
Yeah, there's exactly hypothesis, theories, and a lot of these science that comes out of the West is just theory. Nothing has been tangibly proven or even measured. It's just pure guesswork. So yeah, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting to me, and I don't know how we do it. How as English people we just sit here and we sound so convincing as well. It's really interesting that we pretty much know, and we are sort of whatever we say goes, and it's gospel. And what's interesting is when you really dive deep into people's cultures and actually what they're speaking about between each other. Like the Asians pull me to the side and say, you know what, you're disabled, but in India we'd cure you. What you've got here is inflammation and a bunch of lazy medical staff, because all you need is remedial massage and various different types of processes of rehabilitation. But they're so lazy here, and they're so clueless that you probably won't get helped. So we look at India, it's a place like India, and people working on tills like they're nothing, or they're just they really need us and all the rest of it. But actually, they're far more evolved in their way of treating patients. So if you had 1,000 people walk into an Asian hospital that had 5 members of staff, as opposed to 1,000 people that walked in to an English hospital with 100 staff, the people that came out of the hospital would last for longer, be better healed better, have less implications after they've left, have less side effects from the drugs they're taking, because the alternate and natural organic sort of method that they use. So actually we are very behind, and the quicker we start to realize that, people look at us and laugh, and when we make statements like that's measured when it comes to science is what I'm starting to do less. And I'm starting to listen to these people who have been labeled and tarnished as third world, and just start to humble myself and think, we're actually cave people, just savagery in our thinking, and think that we're more intelligent than we are. But really, people look at us like we're, the cavemen that just walk around like shit in a bag, or just shit in a corner, or just not understand
what
not how like children, like really under sort of like so it's just like you're at a primitive stage in your thinking, not the way we're living, because we've got a lot of stuff fed to us here in the West that we probably wouldn't be able to build from scratch. But we've got the benefit of having everybody else work for us and slave for us in third world merch factories, and so we don't have to do that hard, and the brain drain comes from Asia and Africa. So pretty much it's easy, it's a free ride, and a lot of English people are just jumping in on the sweat of and the backpack of foreigners. But no, you know what? This is my time to, I came up probably to whine and whinge and moan and have a rant, and I didn't expect to, but you're touching on these subjects, bro. So it's kind of bringing it out of me, bro. I didn't want to cut.
You're good. You're sounding like a professor right now. I'm not gonna lie, but on a brighter note, we now know how to get away with murder. We just have to get diagnosed with HTR2B or whatever the hell that thing was called. And they might have to allow you in it because you got the murder gene. I should have laughed. Or the anger gene. The angry gene.
Gene. I think there's a gene that's more predisposed to you being having addictive personality.
Yeah, thanks to Nat and Cotton Socks for pointing that out still, because that is quite intelligent still.
Yeah, I like all of that. I do believe there's a science behind that though. Where you could run it and see that, but that makes sense. If you've got a genetic that is going to have smaller smaller physical physiology, then what's going to happen is that smaller group of people are probably going to more likely to want to use weapons, right? And you know, bigger ones won't most likely just beat someone up, throw them, you know, not want to really kill them. But you know what? With the smaller genetic person, they'll probably be like, you know what? I don't want to mix with that guy, so I'm going to have to really hurt him, and so I don't have to, you know what I mean, physically entangle with this person. So I'd say that just based on your phenotype, your physiology, there's probably more. It's probably more likely that smaller people, I would say, use weapons more often. I'd say that there's probably a high chance that that's the case. So I don't know. That's very hard to determine that actually that's through your genetics and your actual bloodline, or is it because of the body type that you are? And there's loads of different body types. That's parts of different blood pools, right? So you're going to get blood pools that will have tall people, small people, fit, fat people, thin. You know, the louder ones and the shy ones are fat people. So I don't think it's necessarily your genetics in terms of where you come from in the world and map and what gene pool you're part of, but there are different types of body parts in different gene pools, and I think it's the body types that make us act out more so than where we come from culturally. And that's quite hard to determine because a lot of people who act out in certain ways will learn that from their cultures predominantly. But I think body types have a lot to do with the way people act psychologically between each other. And like I said, I've noticed with fat people, they're more shy. And a thing that you can tell where a lot of people are shy is when they're very loud, actually. But anyway, yeah. So that's a very hard question. That's like the thing with genetics and you being predisposed to stuff. I would love to see the actual physical, the actual visual proof, you know, and evidence and stuff, right, and data behind it. But I feel like a lot of this data is pushed to skew people's minds and psychological operations and to skew the narrative with untruthful politicians and leaders. But yeah, it'd be really good to see the data. I'd love to see the data on it, like all these topics we're talking about.
Well, I've got some data here for you that was, you know, something we can read through. Because I thought, you know, if we're gonna do the anger gene, we might as well just find out if there's a gay gene. And according to this article, I'm not sure, this says Nature News. It says no gay gene, massive study homes in on genetic basis of human sexuality. Yeah. Now, I'm not authenticating this article because I don't know who wrote it, but apparently it was written in 2019. It says the largest study to date, a genetic basis of sexuality, has revealed 5 spots on the human genome that are linked to same sexual behavior, but none of the markers are reliable enough to predict someone's sexuality. The findings, which are published on 29th of August in Science and based on genomes of nearly 500,000 people, shore up the results of earlier, smaller studies and confirm the suspicions of many scientists. While sexual preferences have a genetic component, no single gene has a large effect on sexual behaviors. There is no gay gene, says the lead study author, Andrea Ganner, a geneticist at the Broad Institute of MIT and Harvard in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So I don't know who Andrea Ganner is, but we could check her credentials. It says Ganner, or who he is. Sorry, I thought it was a woman because it says Andrea. But Ganner and his colleagues also used the analysis to estimate that up to 25% of sexual behavior can be explained by genetics, with the rest influenced by environmental and cultural factors, a figure similar to the findings of smaller studies. So it kind of leans in both directions, but 75% would be, what I was talking about then, according to this article here anyway, which would be like cultural or what you've learned in it in your environment, like learned factors. And 25% of your sexuality is genetic, according to this article. I'm sure there was other articles. There's another one here. It says same thing. This is the New York Times. It says many genes influence same sexuality, not a single gay gene. So yeah, it seems like similar kind of article again. I'm not going to read through the whole thing again, but it's talking about the same thing. Broad Institute of MIT, Harvard. Yeah, okay. Probably going to refer to the same female who we heard about, or Mel, Andrea. I should have laughed. How could a man be called Andrea? Like, do you think a name can affect someone's personality? With a name like Andrea, flipping out, mate. He must have got ribbed at school.
Was that dude's name called Andrea?
Yeah,
Andrea.
Andrea.
That's a word.
Don't make me laugh. I should laugh. But yeah, no, I think this was a good little show, man. It's a good little eye opener. It's a a subject where I think a lot of us need to really kind of know where our minds are at with these things, because this is what's happening in the world today. This is what it's turned into. I know some of us don't even want to talk about these things, but it's relevant. It's relevant. Your kids are growing up in this at the end of the day.
Yo, family, I came here, yeah, I thought, jokes and banter. I was like, let's rip someone up. And then I heard this lady talking very seriously, and I thought, oh my God, no, like this is going to be a serious conversation. But then, literally, when I'm asking the questions, I can feel myself but not getting annoyed, innit? Because I just see people throwing around so many things that you would never, like, it's nearly the unknowable, right? They're talking about shit that you just can't, it's going to be so hard to calculate, but we speak about it so openly, like we're just dead set on that this is what it is. But it's stuff that they're saying that they can't prove right now, yeah? And that's weird.
According to these articles, though, they can prove something. They can prove there are certain genes that are linked to sexuality, according to this article, and they believe also that they can prove that the rest of your sexuality is affected by, or 75% is affected by environmental factors. So there are obviously people who are studying these things and putting their ideas forward. I think at this point, I wouldn't definitely say that this article is correct. I would just say that it kind of has a similar standpoint to what I've got, in the sense of,
well, it kind of goes back to my point. If we don't know, if it's not proven, we deal with our kids or how they are.
Sorry.
Leave it to the scientists. They'll figure it out or they won't, but it still comes back to parents and kids.
Yeah. According to the scientists, there's a 75% chance that these kids are going to fall in line with the environment more than anything else.
Yeah, but you know what? Good. But that's not. Here's my point. That's not set in stone. That's what their theory is. They do not know.
Yo, bro, can I just ask you a question?
Same thing with intelligence. They don't know. There are a lot of theories.
I'm gonna let you do one more question, the Kingo, and then we're gonna shut down. But I appreciate having you guys here. I hope you arrive for the next show, and with the same enthusiasm, because this has been like really good, man. I enjoyed having you all here. Thanks to who else was here? Natalie. Who else turned up here? I think it's just us and that Kingo, Stanley, Willie B, Cotton Socks, the Rose Sector, Eve, Empress Akina, everyone. Like, big up yourself, Suge, Mr. Pilu, you don't know. You don't know. But yeah, ask your question to Kingo before we shut down. And yeah, man, appreciate having you guys, man. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Are you gonna ask your question? I think his reception might have cut out. Yeah, your reception's gone crazy. We can't even hear you now. Yo, Kingo, you gotta sort your reception. Better signal, please, mate. We can't hear you. Nah, still not hearing you. Still not hearing you. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow. Brother Stanley, I sent you that article to your DM, yeah, on the Discord.
Yeah, I saw it. Thank you.
Yeah, so have a look at that when you're ready. And to everyone who didn't get it, let me just remind you, if you want to know how to get away with murder, you gotta have, hold on, what's the gene called again? Let's get a quick reminder of that gene.
The anger gene.
The anger gene. Let me just get the name of it again. Here we go. Bang. Hopefully it comes up. There we go. Yeah, so the anger gene is called HTR2B. Yeah, you might get away with murder. You might not, so don't hold me to it. I don't really know. This is all jokes and banter. Don't take it serious. If you did, more for you. But there is an anger gene. Yeah.
Let's hope there's no Inspector Morse gene.
Come on, there probably is one. The detective gene, you know, like that. Say no more. All right, Stan, I'll catch you tomorrow, brother. It was nice speaking to you.
Have a good night.
Bless, brother. All right, we're done. We're done for the night, man. I hope everyone's ears are open, their eyes are open, and now your minds are open. Let me give you some outro. What we're gonna do for outro today? Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, we're gonna do something different for outro today, actually. Where's my theme music? You know, every good superhero needs his theme music. That's up to everyone who's still here. It's time to bounce, though, man. Yeah. So we'll catch you tomorrow. How could I even not know where my own theme music is at? Of course I know. I have to know. We got one person left in there. Big up yourself, man. We'll catch you tomorrow. Say nothing. Yeah. Another Wednesday. Shout out to everyone who's got work in the morning. Do your thing. Feel no way. In fact, I ain't even doing no outro music. I'm getting out of here. You lot, bless up. One.